Welcome to the channel. So today, all about the Lone Peak 7. I've been a fan of the Lone Peak for a long time. I think I had the 4, the 5, the 6, and now the 7. And I've got to say, I think they might have nailed it with this one here. There's a few differences, which I'll go into in a minute, but I've got to say, I'm very pleased with how it feels, how it fits, the grip as well. There's a few little extra things there, which we'll talk about in a second. And actually, I like the colorway too. The green, very, very nice, which actually matches my watch. So before I talk too much about everything else, the feel, the fit, etc., just a few stats on the shoe. Basically, we have obviously Altra shoe, which is 0 drop, so there's no difference between the heel and the toe. The Max Track outer, and as you can see there, is a different lug layout pattern to the 6 and the 5. Just for example, I'll show you, that's how they were before with the 5 and the 6. So they've changed the grip. The midsole remains the same with that 25mm Ego midsole, which is super lovely, really comfortable, very resilient, bouncy, but still holds that ground feel. Talk about that later. And the upper, again, has had differences here. So they've got rid of the drainage holes at the front, still the mesh upper as before, more comfort around the back, around the collar here, a lot more soft cushioning here, much thicker than before. Plus they've added some sort of like guidance stability rail at the back, which you do notice, but again, I will talk about all that later. Apart from that, it's pretty much identical, the same to the 6 and the 5, but there is a few differences. So in regards to fit, I would definitely go down half a size. I went down to a 10, as I did with the Mont Blanc and the Lone Peak 6, because the UK size 10.5 was just too long. I go for a 10.5 with the Olympus and with the Superior, let's say, but with the Mont Blanc and the Lone Peak, it's now a definite 100% certain 10 because it's just too long and sloppy. And personally, no need to go wide on that extra wide version because I did try it with the 6 and that was just floppy all over the place like a complete clown shoe. Too long, too much material, too loosey-goosey. But as the UK size 10, cinch it down nicely and you've got a really nice looking and feeling shoe. I have to say the guide rail at the back, that's the sort of stability thing, I've hardly noticed it, but then in fairness I've only been on a couple runs and a few power hikes, so probably haven't had a chance. And I also will say it took about maybe a good couple of walks and a good run to sort of kind of break the shoe in a little bit and get accustomed to it, because initially I did feel a bit concerned, almost there was just too much space, but once I put a little slightly thicker socks on, cinched it down, we're all good to go. But there. So if you're a little bit cautious on that first impression, don't panic, because I think just play around and I'm sure you can get a pretty good fit. Okay, so in regards to weight, it has put on a fraction of weight. Basically the LP7 is about 332 grams, the LP6 was about 320, so there's about a 10-12 gram difference between the shoe, per shoe, from the 6 to the 7. But really hardly any difference, and you just wouldn't notice that at all. Plus, I think that's probably just to do with the fact you've got that stability rail at the back and a bit more extra cushioning. But again, still has that lovely, light, nimble feel, so don't worry about the extra weight. No problem there. Also, I think the cool thing about the shoe is that actually, as a gym shoe, it works really well. I've been in the gym a few times now with it, and I've used it for squats, for deadlifts, for lunges, and also actually for things like sledge pushes. Because it's got that great traction and you've got that great ground feel, and obviously being 0 drop, you've got a great feel of the ground and a nice upright position, nice upright posture. So yeah, it does feel very nice, minimal, and it seems to be a good gym shoe too. So in summary, I think the shoe feels and fits great, just like the LP6 and 5. I think there's no need to go for the wide. Also, make sure you go down half size, because they are much longer. But don't be too concerned if the first impressions aren't great, because I think once you get that sort of extra lace at the top there cinched down, that eyelet, and maybe some thicker socks, you've got a nice secure fit, because there is plenty of room. They seem to be very accommodating. Comfort underneath, amazing. Grip, much better actually. So far, really good. I'm really enjoying the LP7. Right, I hope that helped. Please click that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Plenty more videos to come. I'll keep you updated about how these ones get on. But for now, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Take care. It's freezing. I'm going home. Whew. Bye-bye. I just got to come back and get the camera in a second. Like I'm doing now. Here I come.